also I would like to thank Gigi Nagala for making this very special event possible. So thank you very much. Before we start, I would like to say something about our association, which is the Tibetan Youth Association in Europe. It's been founded in 1970, and we engage on different levels, try to strengthen the political awareness of young Tibetans in exile and encourage critical thinking. So since its founding, the Tibetan Youth Association has set a goal, and that is to create a place where young Tibetans in exile can connect with each other and exchange ideas. It is our belief that in order to promote constructive discussion inside our society and also encouraging critical thinking, events such as this are very much needed. And in order for a democracy to work, participation is always required. So that's why we're very much happy and try to encourage people to create, to think critically. So now it's my pleasure to give the floor to Tenzin Dejeng Kampo. She is a board member of the Tibetan Youth Association Europe and also co-director of Internet Campaign. So thank you very much.
인게토라 두스체네 타지체유 안디게 온다슈이 카인스나 당문야람즈기 삼출라 디 다링게 제림디 유럽 슈누기 멤버 디게 디게볼라 두스체네 타지체기 디체니 안디제라 단남게 조글라나 타림보네 야가니 두시야 페디 아니 미창말라 고급지 존나 상시하는 모습이 이벤트 public talks에 샤브니 이네 DJ 라야 지워 가리 여버이나 벽에 털 지내지기래 인게 털 지내지기래 메나 자문 털 지내지기래 오케이 아니마 마이크로폰 좀 흔들어 온지 Okay, so as Jingmei already said, my name is Tenzin Dejeng. I hope you guys know me now. I am from Tibetan Youth Association in Europe, and as I said, I'm very glad to have you guys here. Though the announcement was shortly informed, sorry for that, but we are very happy to have you guys here with us today. So we also have a very special guest, Tagyari Namge Jawala. She was born in India, and she is actually one of the youngest G2s, and she also did her major in English literature, and she became a member of Bujusum in 2013, October 2003, sorry. And in 2013, after successfully completing her work for the Tibetan Women's Association, as the coordinator for their project Legal Empowerment for Tibetan Women in Exile, she was elected to the position of president of the Bujusum movement of Tibet, and is currently serving as one in this position. And she's also she's though a member of parliament, but to many young people, she's known as a powerful activist, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so I would now like to give the platform to her, and yeah.
통화대 상무선 뜻대시외이 아닌데 디지털 슈슈도르데 너무 슈슈도 페샤 시사 슈슈쇼지 아니 디지 프랑스에 시대 드리기 당시 슈르니제 주도 툴렌디 인게나 체체자 아니 인게선에 감슈쇼지 이베네 남서 기대 치고 요비나 이게 남이 내려 그게 남이 분들의 이게 제가 유명한 프랑스 기준에 제 그게 되어있네 이게 되어있네 이 파규레 제 디커니시나 섬서 지난해 그림에 남서 짜고 굉장히 지난 스위스들과 굉장히 그 90년대 유럽에 나란히 점점이 dim주지 고리슈에 트래블링 exhibition 시제 이체도 참아자고 이번에 대자를 쇼라 예레월라 아니 말아야 쇼게지 차대 아니 쇼게 가만 투비나 투체 프랑스 선수지는 치투비나니 말에 시행이 고급치 에나소이네 지 가쇼래 양명한다지 sama 요새는 여치를 토네 프랑스 육슈르 육슈르 시티 고치고 같이 쉬이 아니 프랑스에 public talks 지시등에 어퍼선선 같이 쉬이나 그 디자인 투즈로 차샤나 니 참아신데요 년도에 할랑 보고 유죠 제가 대대의 추수식다 추수식의 시대에나야 미만이야 가래로도 제가 드린 예면에 비전디 감추기 정하바라 감추기 체 아니 빈체라 아니 먼저 삼주진의 지원체를 집도위나 아니 하시오래 개발을 상기도 어디나시 기대 얘기 레기하고 나서 투 마음이 있나 아니야 나라서 인간의 탁시 랭킹 요나 나서 잘해 나오나 나의 시행을 그거 충분히가 가우친 것이 쉬었지 아니 now yeah so we're here today tonight because I think we're here because of the word Tibet, because of our love for Tibet, because of our passion for Tibet, because perhaps for our curiosity for Tibet, doubts. And I think that's the reason why we are here today, because I think that's something that we share in common. And this is a beginning of how we can work for Tibet. And this is something that I truly, truly believe in. And I think the group of people that we are here, I think I'm perhaps very different because I'm born in India in exile and I went to TCV, Tibetan Children's Village. So I've been brought up in Tibetan settlement, Tibetan community, and as a daughter of parents who are both political prisoners, I have been brought up where I've constantly heard about what's going on inside Tibet, what happened to my family, what happened to them individually. And I think, interestingly enough, when I talk about my late Pala, Pala never complained, cribbed about how difficult it was for him as a political prisoner, for somebody who has been in prison for 20 years. He hasn't told me about how much problem he's gone through, the kind of torture that he's gone through. Instead, he chose me to teach me a different thing. If I can share with you, my Pala, interestingly enough, he told me about how, even though his phrase would be like, you see, it's from the chains, the foot. He would always try and change the topic. However, I remember how when I was free, I felt so light. He would tell me about the starvation during imprisonment, but then he would change the subject. Pala would tell me, I remember that he was many a times on kitchen duty when they had to cook, and Pala would say, that was a privilege. You could always have extra buns, So he would tell me about times when Tibetan political prisoners were, they had to go on the street of Lhasa because the Chinese armies wanted to send out a message to the Tibetan people, scare them off. Okay, if you do something like this, this is how you'll be treated. But then Pala would tell me, in one of those difficult times, there'll be many Tibetan ladies out there, holding their pangden like this. And in those pangden, they'll be holding one of the most delicious pak ever. He would tell me he would never ever forget how delicious those were. So this is how I've been brought up. Despite the difficult times, despite the torture, Pala would still tell me, try and make sure that I'm not angry, I'm not frustrated about the entire thing that he's gone through, but try and make me optimistic. And this is, I think, a story of every Tibetan homes. I know that I still have scars within me, and that is the reason why I choose to be active in the Tibetan freedom movement. And that is the reason why every one of us should be active in the Tibetan freedom movement. Being a daughter of a political prisoner, being a student at TCV, when you are taught these beautiful songs, these are the songs that I've been listening to, that I'll be kicking off the Chinese out of my country. So these are the songs that we've been singing. We are taught to be passionate about it when we sing it. We were told to stamp our foot like this to show our emotion. So these are things that I've been brought up. And I think those are very important. Because for me, as somebody born in a free country, like all of you, like many of you, I think sometimes it's very difficult for us to empathize, connect with somebody else's pain. And for that reason, I think it's important that we go through this process, and therefore, for Tibetan youngsters, it's very important that we try and build on this empathetic emotion, stay connected with Tibetans inside Tibet, because we are truly, truly lucky that we are born in free countries, enjoying the freedom, democracy that we are, and therefore, I think it's important for us to realize that, how do we use this freedom that, we have for them? How, the freedom that we have at the moment has come at a very, very, very big price. Big price paid by our ancestors. Either it could be imprisonment, it could be torture, it could be death, it could be of loss. And that is enough for each one of us to try and be the voice of Tibetans inside Tibet. And that's the reason why all of us have to do something about this. And I'm saying so because something that really bothers me about us as Tibetan youngsters is many times I hear them saying, even if we go to a march, even if we participate in a campaign, what difference is it going to make? And I believe each campaign that we do, each advocacy that we are part of makes a huge difference. If not directly, collectively, it piles upon it. And at least, even if there is no direct impact at the moment, currently in Tibet, it helps us individually. And how is that? It reminds us of the pain, of the scar, and we need that. Because for any freedom movement, for any revolution, we need that pain, we need to maintain that scar. But then don't let this, harm yourself. But how do we use that scar into benefiting a larger cause? I think that's something that we all have to struggle in. And that is something I believe that Tibetan Youth Association in Europe has been doing for all these years, and I really appreciate that. I've been following the organization since I think about several years. I remember that time the new presidents, they came to Guchusum. Actually, you guys went around all the organizations, introducing the organization and the new leadership. And that was the time when I actually noticed, I'm so sorry about my ignorance, but I actually found out about, okay, there's an organization like that. And they're working for the Tibetan movement. And not necessarily about Rangzen or Umelam, but for trying to become the voice of Tibetans inside Tibet. And that is powerful. Because something that we have to understand is, we have to understand what is happening in exile at the moment. I think we are very lucky that we are getting to choose. We're getting to choose between the Tibetan freedom movement and our democracy. We're getting to choose between the Tibetan democracy or the Swiss democracy. We are privileged. I think that's why we have to be grateful. That's why we have to use this power that we have to become a voice. And to be able to do that, it does not necessarily mean we have to be part of, say, every time we all don't have to be activists. Of course, indirectly, all of us are activists. But then, how do we indirectly, whether we are doing anything else professionally, how do we use that as a power to support the movement indirectly or directly? I think that's something that we all should be thinking about. I'm not going to go on say anything more. I'm looking forward to questions from you guys, and thank you so much for the opportunity to. So this is kind of like a starter for me, so that yeah. I look forward to questions from you.
We have here prepared a few questions. I guess our daily life of a Tibetan MP look like. Yeah.
That's a very interesting question, and I guess perhaps that question has come because you are accustomed to Swiss democracy. Therefore, when you come to Tibetan Chitu, the situation is very different. And that is the reason why every time we have the parliament session going on, I understand what Kashak is going through, because they are the team who are actually out there on ground working. So it's not easy, because I always say that whenever we have sessions going on, our job is the easy one. For 10 days, we get to go there, sit, and then complain. It's very easy. Technically, that is the work, for the 10 days. We are telling them, this is not right, this is right. This is what I think should be done. This is what I think should not be done. But then, on the ground level, Kashak is the one, and the administration, the civil servants are the ones who are out there working. But there are 11 members of parliaments who are in Kanki working 9 to 5, perhaps more, representing the entire 45 Tibetan member of parliaments. For the rest of the member of parliament, it really depends what you are doing. For me, my work is an activist. My work is being the president of Gujusu Movement Association of Tibet. And I guess that is the thing that is completely taking my entire time. About my work at Gujusum, serving as the president of Gujusum, I started off as the vice president. And it's very interesting because for me, I never knew that, I've been brought up hearing about political prisoners, Chepsutsunpa, friends of Pala and Amla, the Chepsutsunpa. I never knew that one day this would become my profession. Trust me, it really depends, because when I started off, it was not so much fun. I remember because I was doing work as the researcher, human rights researcher, and it was a time from 2013 when we were hearing lots of self-immolation, when we were hearing about lots of political prisoners, imprisonment, torture, and it was certainly not very easy for me personally, because I am somebody who tend to be very, very emotional about those things, because I care about them. So I remember having many, many evenings when I couldn't sleep, and I'm thinking, shit, what the hell am I doing? Am I doing anything at all or not? So I think all of us at that moment, when we are questioning ourselves, thinking, am I doing enough? Should I do more? Am I even capable? Can I do it or not? So this is a thing that I've been going through, and it really took time for me to, become confident, start to think that, okay, maybe I need to be more pragmatic. I need to bring everything in order, organize everything, and think, okay, what should I do? And when I started off, it was very interesting for the organization, because many of our members started to go to Australia. So it was a time when everyone was saying, Gujusum, all the political prisoners are going to Australia. We don't need Gujusum, let's just close it. So that was the phase, we were going through, and we were thinking, okay, how do we deal with this new situation? An organization which focuses immensely on the rehabilitation of Tibetan political prisoners, how do we redirect ourselves? How do we continue to work? How do we continue to be beneficial for the Tibetan freedom movement? And that was the time when we started to kind of really, really amplify and channelize ourselves, our direction, thinking, okay, maybe we should do more research. And using those research, perhaps we should do more and different varieties of activities, different varieties of awareness campaigns. And how do we do that? There were times when we used to do lots of public talks. many political prisoners would go face to face with Tibetans and non-Tibetans and talk to them and discuss face to face. And we were thinking, well, all of them are going to Australia. How do we deal with that? Well, we can use the technology. We can take the interviews, use that, travel across, and maybe show their interviews. So those were the things that we were going through. Like, I'm sharing a lot of things with you because I think some people say that our lives are kind of easy, you know, and personally it's not so very easy for every individual. So yes, so this is how our work were, and I'm not sure if I'm like actually working on the question.
I guess. Thank you. And are you still feeling comfortable standing or?
I'm okay.
Okay. Yeah. Said, as I already said, since you're the youngest members, so do you sometimes feel that you have, you know, this special responsibility? You know, because most of the activists, I mean, the young activists, they look up to you. And how do you make your and, let's say, our voices heard? Do you feel this special responsibility?
Absolutely. Because I'm told I'm looked up to. It is not because of me personally. I think people are able to empathize with me. People are able to think that, okay, if I'm in her position, how do I deal with that? And I guess when we are talking about having young leaders, it's not about individual. Some people say that youngsters, it's about rush. It's about them saying everything that they want to. But I truly believe that when we are talking about participation of youngsters, we are talking about an idea of inclusion, an idea of acceptability, of diversity, and that is something that should come from every young leadership, where we're able to, in this democratic system, we're able to accept different ideas, different backgrounds. And I think that is something that all of us should speak on. Because because when it comes to democracy, the worst thing about democracy is how majority could rule. And that is something very scary. Because the voice of minority perhaps might not be heard. So how do we try to become that voice of minority is something that I feel is very important. And I think maybe that's what we can do, but that's something that we can try and become, We are told that we are educated. And I think when you say educated, I think that is real education. Because sometimes if you look at our Tibetan community, we have people who are very, very good in Tibetan script, Tibetan language. But the kind of ideas that they are sharing, is that educated or not, is something that we should try and understand, and we should speak out about it. And I think apart from that, for me, what I try to do is try and balance myself between the Tibetan freedom movement and our exile democracy. Because that is something very important. Because I've noticed in our exile community how we are so succumbed in the exile politics, past struggle, that we are forgetting the Tibetan freedom movement. So how, as young Tibetans, we should be trying to send our message to the community as the Tibetans inside Tibet. Right now inside Tibet, we have the third and the fourth generation of Tibetan, and how they are trying to carry on the torch, so that we could be confident enough to, in future, pass on that torch. I think that is something that we should try and work on, that we should be able to pick a torch and use our, the modern education that we have got, perhaps with a touch of our tradition, a touch of it, and then, try and create our own identity. And I think that is something very important, because sometimes in our community, I've noticed how we are trying to be too stern about many things. And I think that is something that really, really, for me, it really hurts. When I've noticed that on internet, how many times I don't post all my posts in Tibetan. I do many times in English because I'm comfortable with it. I do that in English as well and Tibetan as well. So I've seen many thrashing. Many a times I'm sorry I've gone to TCB, but my Tibetan spellings are horrible. So I'm like, this, that. How can you write that? You have had TCB Timor. And I'm like, I'm trying. This is all I can do. I guess this is the identity of Tibetan youngsters. Let's celebrate that. We are trying all we can. And it's important that we try and send a message to the Tibetan community and the non-Tibetan community that this is who we are. We are celebrating our Tibetanness and yet imbibing where we are at the moment. For me, it's India. For you, it's Swiss. So how do we try and do that? How do we try to pick everything up and then, send a message, still trying to become the voice of Tibetans inside Tibet. So this is something that I try to do, balance it out. When I say balancing, I don't mean remaining moderate. I mean balancing, and that is very important, I believe.
So do you sometimes face challenges? In the last electoral campaign, there were a lot of criticism about the state of Tibetan democracy. So what kind of amendments are necessary in your opinion to improve the democracy quality?
There are lots.
Okay.
So I think we are babies when it comes to democracy, and that's the reality of the Tibetan community. We are very, very new to democracy, and that's the reason why when we actually went in practicing it, there was so much chaos. And the last amendment, electoral amendment that perhaps or not you guys have seen, it was an effort by the Tibetan Parliament exile to curb that. I'm not suggesting that the electoral amendment that we have brought will ensure that 2021 is going to be very peaceful. I cannot foresee that. I can definitely tell that it's going to be chaotic, but then this is how we sharpen our democracy. We make a mistake, we try and find it, we try and trace that, bring an amendment, try and be better. So the last amendment by the TDIE, I believe, was a try from us to change that. And having said that, I think the difficulty that I've noticed, and I have no idea how do we work on that, was how active we became on internet. And that was the space where people actually started to misuse the democratic power platforms like WeChat. So how does CTA, our exiled government, try and control that? Is something that is out of my reach. I still haven't come to a point where I can think, okay, how do we try and control the kind of internet bashing that we see on WeChat? How do we do that? Because I know that 2021 will be seeing a lot of that. So how do we deal with that situation by law? Because we know the limitation of CTA, we know the limitation of the exile Tibetan Charter. So that is something very interesting, and that is the reason why I try to meet more people, ask for their suggestions, because I'm sure I can learn from any of you guys. So if you have any ideas about how do we deal with such situation? Because we know that WeChat is a platform that we cannot reach. So how do we deal with those situations? It's something that all of us should be discussing on, that all of us should be aware of. So yeah.
Do you think that if we don't use WeChat, is it better, or just out of curiosity?
It's very easy for me because I don't use WeChat. So I can say we don't have to use it. But then working at Buchusum, the members of the organization, they all come from Tibet, and they have to stay connected with their families in Tibet, and the only means is WeChat. So how do we deal with that situation again? I try and tell people, stay away from WeChat. I always say that it's very easy for me, but then how do we deal with that situation, you know. So I would suggest let's not use that. Let's try and use another platform. And I guess organizations have tried to bring replacement for WeChat, but then is that possible to use that in Tibet? How do we use a new social network to stay connected with our families in Tibet? You know, so I'm not sure if I can just, you know, tell somebody from Tibet, you know, don't use WeChat, you know, because I've heard that they've tried using Telegram. Some of them said, well, we used Telegram. After 3 days, it stopped working. We used WhatsApp. After a few days, it stopped working. So they really don't have any choice. So yeah, easy for us to say.
Yeah, sure. I guess I mean, we have like 2-3 more questions, but I would now like to like pass them. The microphone doesn't work, but pass it on to you guys. Yeah, I mean, I guess we also share kind of the same questions, so I would like to see if there's anything coming from the public. Yeah. Sorry. 그게 폰이 지워지나 되게 자만 폰이 지나 되게 먼저 야 이게 기본 되었습니다.
You have talked about being the voice of Tibetanese inside Tibet, and I wanted to ask you, as Gujusum, you have been doing this traveling exhibition, and I would love to hear more about what this is about, and have you had any encounters or experiences?
Yes, so the traveling exhibition is an endeavor from Gujusum to use the work of our research and try and channelize that into a medium of awareness campaign about Tibet, because we have so many photographs that we want to display to the Tibetan communities, the non-Tibetan communities across the world, but then there are videos that we want to show. There are different campaigns that we want to do, but we realized that perhaps traveling photo exhibition would be an opportunity for us to reach out, because my experience is there are students who come to Dharamsala, they want to know about Tibetan political prisoners, and we share about this is Tibet, this is what is happening to Tibetan political prisoners, so this is what is happening when it comes to Tibet environmentally. So for many of them, it's very difficult for them to see a picture of what it is. So for those people, it's very convenient to bring posters and let them know, so this is what is it. So it's almost like spoon feeding, but this is a very effective means that we have realized, and that's the reason why Gujusum for 2019, since it's 60 years since we have lost Tibet against China. So what we're trying to do is we have prepared 60 panels of photo exhibitions, and we are traveling across India, in Indian communities, in Tibetan settlements, schools, monasteries. So take those photographs and interact with the Tibetan community as well. Some people say that why is there a need to travel in Tibetan communities, because we know about Tibet. Honestly, even within the Tibetan community, there are so many issues that we are unaware of, that we are ignorant of, or many a times we choose to ignore, we choose not to study. So those are opportunity for us to get in their zone and discuss, and that has been very, very helpful for us. And it's not just about the Tibetan settlement, it's about Tibetan schools as well. Because this is something that really, really bothers me. As I said earlier, I've studied in TCV. I've studied in an environment where I have been told to celebrate Tibetanness, where I have been taught what is happening inside Tibet, where I have been encouraged to become a voice of Tibetans inside Tibet, and that is a daily thing. But what is happening right now is a very, very changed scenario. And that is something that really, really bothers me individually as an activist, where I feel like if, we are taught many a times that, okay, China is our enemy, however, we are trying to deal with the situation in a very different thing. We should feel sorry for them. We should try and deal with the situation another way. If we live with China, it's beneficial for us. So those are the things that we have been taught, So I think in these scenarios, are the young Tibetans, who are, many of them are third and fourth generation, who have not seen Chinese, who have not experienced the brutality of the Chinese government. How do they even try and become the voice of Tibetans inside Tibet? How do they even connect with the pain of Tibetans inside Tibet? So that's why it's very, very important that we take these photographs and show it to the Tibetan students. We can't do that every day, but we take the opportunity to go to them and discuss these things. This is a real situation, and that is something that I truly believe. And I'm sorry that I'm diverting, but I feel that in the Tibetan democracy, it's important that our means of education, we're able to table different options to Tibetan youngsters. That we should educate them on our history. We should educate them on the current state of Tibet, and that's it. Give them options. Let them decide on the future. And this is something that I believe in. Instead of telling them this is the best way, that's it, nothing else. I believe that that's a very Chinese propaganda means. I truly believe that. Therefore, it's important that we teach them Tibetan history, we teach them the current status, and let them decide how do we deal with the situation. With the education that we have received, with the upbringing that we have received, how do we use that into deciding our future? And that is something that we should bring to the Tibetan youngsters. And going back to the traveling exhibition, it's very interesting how the Tibetan community is looking at it. We have encountered situation in the past where in our traveling exhibition, we've had Tibetans from Tibet who were there for teachings of His Holiness, and they just come to take a look at their photographs. And they've said that, they've gone through these things. And they've said, I've met and spoken to many who have said that, thank you so much that you're putting up these photographs. Because we are aware of what is happening inside Tibet. We know what is happening inside Tibet. However, we feel like, are the Tibetans outside Tibet doing anything about it? We have this question. But when we see these photographs, and when you are telling me that you are taking these photographs everywhere, it shows us that you're doing something about it, that you're trying to become our voice, and thank you so much for that. So we have heard these things from Tibetans inside Tibet, coming here in exile. So that is the reason why we wanted to continue. And this is, I believe, one of, best compliment that we have received for the traveling exhibition. However, sadly, we have had instances where our own people, our own Tibetan brothers and sisters have come in the exhibition, have come with, we are very open to different suggestions because this is how we improve, and we receive different suggestions. And through them, we have made many changes to our exhibition as well. But one thing very sad is how the exile politics that we have here, where some individuals are trying to, come up with the provincial fights about Dote Dome Uzang. That, what is that? Is that Dote? Why have you write Dome? This, that. So this is something that we have faced in the past. So it's very interesting for us because for me, I've always believed that it's Tibet. And when I was brought up, my Pala Amna had always told me that you are a Tibetan. And this is something I believe every family should teach all of us, that you are a Tibetan. Because when you try and focus too much, your Dode, your Dome, we all are aware of the problems that we are facing already in our exile community. We are saying, oh, this area is Dode, this area is Dome, this area is Uzang. For God's sake, it's under China right now. Let's deal with that shit first, and then we can come to the real thing in future perhaps. So I think this is something that we really, really have to be sensible, and something that is, that caused lots of, to be honest, disappointment for us in the past. and you are aware of that. So that's something that was very sad, and I don't want to really go into the detail of the event that took place with Guchisum exhibition, but I hope that this disease that we have in exile, fighting over Dodo Dume Uzang, should stop. Let's talk about Tibet and let's talk about China, deal with the situation, and then we can talk about more things in the future.
Let's say it's doable, right? Comparing to the Kashabs as executives and the workload behind. And I was just wondering whether, I'm not sure about this, but inside the Tibetan government, is there any form of like a commission? Like we in the Swiss parliament, we know that if there are some very controversial drafts that has to be made for the new bills, etc., that they can build and commission within the council of parliament members, whether they have the task for like 1 year to prepare anything that has to be submitted by the executives, has to be submitted by the council itself. Is there any kind of form where you can work in this kind of body to, let's say, support the Kashabs in terms of achieving new goals and new projects? Yeah, that was my first question. And my second question was about the disturbances within and outside the Tibetan community. Like maybe you remember the incident that you had with the Chinese woman near Tuglakhang, or for example the online campaign that was happening in Toronto with Chimilamo as newly elected president of the Toronto University of Scarborough, and how to deal with that afterwards. So it leaves kind of an impact. What do you consider? How should we deal with this kind of bullying, especially outside of Tibetan community with the Chinese or etc.? Two questions.
Thank you. So when it comes to the exile, Tibetan parliament exile, the main area where we come together is March and September, when we have the budget session and when we have the report session. So after I wrap up here, I go back to Dharamsala, we have the budget session. So that's one thing. And apart from that, there are times when we have events coming up, when we have issues that we have to deal with, like the electoral amendment that we have to make, that had to be made. So those are the moments when we have a special team recruited from the Exile Tibetan Parliament who research and work on issues, who work on different policies. So we have those events happening. And we have teams which reviews on different work, different projects that CTA has that has to be implemented by Kasha. Yeah, so yes, those are there. But it's very interesting how, as I said earlier, I feel that despite what is mentioned in our charter, where the Tibetan Parliament exile, we have the ultimate power, in a way where we have the power to dissolve Kasha. Kasha doesn't have the power to dissolve us. So this is something that is there, and that's the reason why, perhaps the existence of TPI is interesting and maybe powerful. But then, of course, as any other branches of democracy, we are there working as check and balance, ensuring that checking whether the policies that we have come up with, ideas that we are coming up with, is CTA implementing it, is Kasha implementing it. So that's something that is there. So yeah, the commissions and everything is already there, so I'm not sure if I even answered. Did I answer that? Alright. So about the second question. So that event for me personally was very interesting, very intriguing, rather disturbing in a way. because the photo exhibition was, us trying to check if traveling exhibition would be something that we should work on. So there was a time when we were commemorating the 30 years anniversary of 1987, October 1st. So we were out there at the Martyrs Pillar. I believe everyone, perhaps like any of you who have been to Dharamsala, you have been there. So we were out there at the best spot where these photographs should be displayed at Martyrs Pillar, near the Martyrs Pillar, because each one of these individuals deserve that spot. So we were out there, and it was very interesting how that lady, the Chinese lady, came up and completely disrupted the entire scenario. She was out there bizarrely telling us that these photographs were all fake, that it's not real. But something that was very, very interesting for me and that left a message for me was how that woman was again and again saying, Dalai Lama, Dalai Lama. I was taken back and I was shocked because I felt like that woman knew what she was doing. Something that we've seen many times in our Tibetan community, how name of His Holiness is used for the benefit of oneself. That lady was doing just that. She was taking out a photograph, crumbling it up, telling us that's not real. And she would be like, no, but Dalai Lama is saying this. So we were like, all right, how do we react to the situation? So she knew the Tibetan community. So it's not about one individual. I believe that there will be in future many of them like that, who will really, really try and disrupt our peace, who will come to us in a free democratic nation and tell us that the freedom that we are using is not allowed. She even had the guts to break camera of a press. A lady who's apparently a US citizen, known as, supposed to be the biggest democracy in the world. She did not, she was still not, able to cherish the democracy that she had. She was stuck in China, where she was like, no, you don't have the freedom, you can't do that. So it was very interesting, and I think that's something that each one of us should realize. And it's not about just one event. It's about, even with Chimanamu, what happened with her. It's interesting how, now in our Tibetan community, we have to realize that even in future we'll face so many different problems. And what China is doing at the moment. And I feel like, if you look at the situation, when it comes to Tibet, how the world is talking about it. Something that really concerns me at the moment is how many of the people around the world are talking about Tibet. I feel like right now everyone's talking about Uyghur. How many of them are talking about Tibet? They deserve the attention, I understand that. But why are press feeling that there is no need of bringing, amplifying on Tibet? Because many of them are saying, well, there's no protest happening. There's no crackdown happening. So, is it even serious inside Tibet? And I believe that is exactly the thing that China is doing. Even inside Tibet, without having the need to crack down, the kind of system that they have, a very, very systematic system that they have built to control the people, and ensure that this fear spreads, is something that I am noticing is coming in free countries as well, within the Tibetan community across the world. I feel like they have started to take advantage of the scenario that we are in, whether it comes to Rangsan Uma, whether it comes to Dodo Dome Isang. They are able to use this situation for themselves when it comes to misusing the name of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. So there are so many things that they are doing, which is making sure that we are not here in Tibet a lot, which is making sure that Tibetans inside Tibet are not coming out, not able to come out and protest, giving a sort of sense around the world that, maybe things aren't so serious as, Tibetans are talking about. And I feel that is very dangerous. So that's the reason why we really have to understand how do we cope up with this new situation. We understand that inside Tibet, we used to see heavy protests, mass demonstrations happening. We don't see that anymore. We see only solo protests happening. We see self-immolation happening. We see Tibetans inside Tibet using different other means, other weak and softer means of sending out a strong message. So in such scenario, how do we even tell the world that things are serious in Tibet? How do we not let this Chinese system control us? So that is something that we really should be talking about, discussing about, and something that will be a problem for the younger generation as we grow older. Something that was a problem that was not faced by the older generation. And that really is something that we have to discuss as individuals, as and then we should be strategizing about these things. So so it really sends out a signal that it is a serious problem. So we should be discussing about how do we deal with this situation. I can't say that I can come up with a solution, but we really have to stick together. When we see such problem, when it comes to Chiminamo, the incident that she went through, it's important that each one of us talk about it. Each one of us support her. Whether we know her or not, we support her. It's very sad when I see a Tibetan, out there. They're like, why are you sharing about Chiminamo so much? There are Tibetans like that. And I say, why not? She's one of us. That situation could have been you. So it's important that we stick together. I'm saying that because when I faced that problem, there were Tibetans who were saying that, why was Namgyal Trungpa angry? Why was she even shouting? So it was very interesting how, I was able to get support from lots of Chinese also within the internet. They were Taiwanese, they were Hong Kongers, they were Singaporean, they were talking about, there were some people, some Han Chinese in free countries saying that this is not right, this should not be done. But they were Tibetans who were like, that's bullshit, she should not have done that. She should not have, we are still so stuck in our past struggle. And that's the reason why I was saying that it's important that we stick together, we support, we look into the larger cause, instead of focusing on small things. So I'm not sure if I've answered again. That's just my opinion.
Australia 저기서 좀 레데요라 안 되게 돌아니 심주도다 이제 마음과다 아니 되게 고쳐야 살아지려라 그게 술 가지니라 캡상 가지라 그 김새 가르치니야 레레레스다 오니라 조니 저는 좋아게 저기서 좋아 아니 이바게 되라 맞죠 숨죽게나셔라 다 다른 숨죽게나 팀 프로젝트 걸려라래 나도 사마기다 숨죽 뒤제들라니 맞죠기 다 비지지어라 비지데다 맞죠 진전에 이게 배워 거의나 비지 지규시나 야보도 상나기다 다 망보시 대상지절라 이제 시대되어라 비지지 다가 맞죠 가시게 오메 ranzeda pomela ngela inya maina tinyala lokashi sinyala ani ari la nyora de chonswa ji ji trosen na keja lera ti keja de 단다양 맞저기 다 맞저 체메 시와당 오메 람다 딘디치 답로 딘디치는 도네니 아니 차이니스 스킬러랑 게미 미스니에 딘디치라나 마라소기 오메 람기 답로 다다 디임다 지 마르냐 란제 자만 베란제 자마이 게미 괜히 도고레지 레이라 다단다니 레기 과다 딘디치 모에 차냐니 진용 기타 맞저 남된 로쇼라다 네 디시타 조아티나 렘 단다 지나 감들어니 이 숨바데요 단다 고주신이 유럽 비르시는 티조라 안가란서 다 신놀래요 신노기 란초 이마이나 신노다 담보츠데 신노기 란초다 담보츠데 신노 콘사초기 공바 지마 지신기는 신노기 제 이치다레 인지슈라 신노기 란초다 란데 자마 인라라 안가란서 다 신노 이마이녀라지 망고차라 아탄다 신노기 란초시다
그냥 가기 쉬운데 이거 쉬운 나와요
말 신노 현저기 이마 담보 그런 리조기 계속은 지어 이제 담보디나라 신노기 란초 란데 자마치야 공사치 공바 지마 지신고도 돼야라 따든다 겨울부터 공바디 오면랑 돈을 지워라 근데 신노기 란초데 란데 자마레 그냥 공사치 공바 지마 지신 안다디 녀라 차대라 나랑 스페이션에서 기타 란초시다 교회 땅에 여러 개 말네 딜레시 돌아니 그냥 띵나서 가시나나 저한테 더 지디 현존 나올라 지디 망보치 란제다 여라 란제다 그리시니 제상한 줄라 많이 이제 제야시 했니
괜찮은데 다고디 무슨 얘기 소리기 그들이셔 이 지도 나로라 신도 매비ken기 니즈주도 갈라 볼려나 근데 파 오스트레일리아라 ချက်스수 데자 중에 된서 아니 배우고싶은 얘기 속에 당고를 시제게 들어올 근데 파 땅에 디 배우고싶은 얘기 속에 말해 먼저 이게 진짜 교육 차고 봐 아니 교육이 파 땅에 디 상황주 말해 디나로라 데자시요레 데요시요레 봐 데자라도 칠시기 차례난체 이내 준주만 줘봐 이내 칠시기 차례난 거 차고 그럼 준수를 준수 말해 디나시 데요요 준비기 긴장 때나서를 차고 나 준수를 왜 내가 준수 말해 봐 제가 된데 이번에 용자지 걸쳐야되는 딱 가서 조조 나로래만 볼래 돼요 되게 오스트레일리아 유명한 나로라 아니 찬스 좀 주문들이래도스 디나시 단대에 터나 주댕에다 gen가 시마다 마음과 수바팅 말이 주문들이 도시라 볼 이번에 안주의 신고에 갈라나 세주 표시운기 대송 아주 생각치 프랑스인이 강사치 게나라 멀루니라 프랑스기 님식 티치고 지난 곳 딘나베 토네 강사의 주수대요 대자 레샤 레미도 비슷하고 봐 디베 토네 아니 gençke 이 오스트레일리아로 저 제가 야 몽구치기 고정하는 주고로 요 말했을 때 아주 신고에 찍기 고정하는 주인기 말에 대해 이번 그 대자 인식이라 제가 인식이라 제가 참아 주말 라이데 다가 되고 말에 제가 아주 지소 나올라 assumptions 지어봐 이슈춤을 도와 제대로 이렇게 다시 되고 말에 이게 주셔지 근데 나오는 로파가 찍라 이게 오스트레일리아 레체 게나 슝기 전적으로 고다시 자매의 친구들이 중요해요. 용자 중요. 항상 로파무제. 딘나시 카일 라요기 준수 이마 나로라. 니마 갑치라. 게나 슝라 개베치 타다 야 개베치서 교화팅에 대대 총고 준수를 왜 제 로파무리 내 차대 자셔야 그래서 된데 일단은 가리시다게 말하는 거네. 봐. 그래서 된데 가시고래. 나중에 신고지 갈라나 대송면에 강토도 님시시는 거. 와 디베 토니 파탄 거래 베게 단지 조지 가리켜 주고 쳐도 쉬우나 코란소 말아서 진짜 교육중에 미세시가 토네 디나노는 학과도 차례 교육계가 미리체도 차례 나게다 르당 중에 르당 나게 디나시 르당기 같이 오래 쟁이 긴장이 인자 코란소는 믹스 슈스티제 되게 오스트레일리아 등교에서 파 중에 코란 중에네 이 등이 초에기 차이나 거지 계속 차주고 저 딩아주 도난 지구의 개체지를 섬기도록 딩이 섬주시 제가 내리도 코란 중에 이번에 디나로로 가서 교육 구시스는 얘기 좀 소매만 붙이고 안돼 무트네 갈로래 회계가 미리 쳐도 차례나게 막 쉬우쉬우래 막 쉬우지 나 지구와 지차위 但你说给你能也的有人然后开始这个开始我代表然后老个过的也的有但你看上去哪里是吧看上今年呢木头的广告学过唱赛还是差着我那因为呢看上唱歌明显这见呗澳大利亚中间一点做怎么人我的马来西亚用那个企业的常务去马来对吧？现在你拖了，刚没拿到拖了，就个当我白给兄弟的是，你上去入去，安尼你不的看到了，看到，孙局推荐，孙局推荐拖了，刚没学会呢，这样的别人用那个结果了，刚没拿过，我这个呢。推荐去过来给这马些你了，你我的而且呢，成绩有人，你上我当我白开手抢我，甚至推荐的我甲中的开始来，你开始呢，迷茫让给唐安起为拖呢，可能就让给你说没为拖呢，唐安给拖呢，这个没力去都马全不人，对的别人以为呢，这个来说你来说是有马的，可能是因为呢，这炸的。漂亮在张文英，两个人就估计起了，但不说，跟那漂亮怕有气势了不是？对对的，有点起来。一年我就写过一下了呢，的，我就拉下来就嘛的，迷茫的对对，你当了不要操就写过去的，现在的，数据推荐的 essence 去超过，现在的我那这个忙着忙碌了，我那做了让小学生看了我的。第几岁？第2岁？第9当老板早年定嘛的，第 essence 的让这小伙开始修的，迷茫的给让着，俺这让我真正让我科技那个有，科技那个科技让我下，朝天学的，成绩钱嘛多，根本嘛团队迷茫的给的嘛多，俺让这个呢，这些我有女些我老板呢，研究修的是的，给那个 prof 给他查住的，俺让做真正培训的，马上看的真正的制作的。걔나와기 시스템이다 마다 같이 쳐래 미망이 남주시던 걸 봐. 미망이 섬주시던 걸 봐. 내가 주셔는 되기래. 내가 마요 내가 네 되게 말해. 내 지금 그래서 나는 되기래 되게 말해. 내가 상담한 걸 차고 전딩을 공부 시로 나시니 지슈니. 다 단단 가서 가서 봐. 진주 지도 나오는 링에 섬주시.你目前可是说明呢，两个人目前的关系，对面两人来说，你甚至了，你两个人目前的最近的、切切的，那所感觉你目前区别，你说话跟这可是呢，两个人目前说明呢，对面两几个嘛嘞，两个人目前的最近地来踏实的，地来干切实的，其实两个人目前关系地做过了的。这样现在差点儿，确实给这差点儿。两个人不前一，互相的公司过了干没拿过去，所以掌握了人家过了干没拿过去。电视台了嘛是快点给修过来，掌握了人家过了给这修个要为呢，我那是距离比较难了了。让这上午单个有的，我们上午单个有的，让他让这上午单个有的，可能是拿了人家成绩了呗。我上午单过去的，对吧？对的是。两个人是公司开的抢过去，我让最给几个见过了，感觉看到两个人是最近了的，外面那么了，下去复苏嘛所谓呢，你什么了，也不得什么的，肯定我让最两个人是的，还有来有的明星家长不以为呢，我最近的两个人是保持那路那挺嘛的，现在我最近广告写了呢，我最近他说是我最近开始有时候就。His Holiness the Dalai Lama is equal to middle way approach. 지금 말해. 이 타주시는 거 좀 말해. 라 최선의 공부 싫었나? 최선 된지 이제 네 송거래, 네 초고 말해. 네 최선 네 토를 먼저 지송은 대신에 쉬고 되시. 학과도 말아서 쉬게 나로네. 다시 치 규제 다인데 acceptability 먼저 나오네 몰렌치야 선주 점이 몰렌치야 캬세 계속 차고 이내시 땡겨lum지 토리네랑 아주 상못한 거 계속 쉬래 감직나 멀루체 땡겨lum지 공식 야채 가래샤 강사치 수수의 계급다 미래대라 그것도 시주 단위기 자우치가 인제 공식이 요는 된제 강사지 공식지 먼저 가리 쏘래 가리 라자 비슷한 거래 엄마 싫어나 쉬어요 제가 예상과 하나 쉬는 걸 그냥 쏘래 그래서 상마지에 랭게네 전도매 이번에 예상주 달라이 좀 뒤쳐도 땡겨lum지 공식 가래 하나 별게 쉬는 한조로 차시는 땡겨lum지 공식 중에 집에도 레미도 내 중에 이해하지 못지 치유 定昂就先过去就修着，昂就真正给制作网络了，可是呢来说就不采嘛的，超过忙修就是，我这开始我说呢，两个东西公司中间一个集团，和网络的收入平的出去，甚至的，不然说公司的我让就给定了，开不了单个一百，我就一切起我的，我就我这起我，年月当然我这起的，现在当然我这个呢，小伙计开始修通的。지난해 climate change다 가시고래 environmental issues도 네 결승보다 시리 나한테 생존기 충분히 처바 있는데 그 생존 교수 인근에 네 이슈제로 먼저 치유톤에 등장 가와 있는 가면은 고쳐요 네 예상을 고급 항상이야 무슨 통고 들어와 가르치우나 먼저 강해지 교대토라 강해지 갈자고 쉬우나 먼저 계제팅을 기술 친구만에 미주퇴 우리까지 가려고는 표현하는 강해 되게 스티기도 말아서 미세기도 먼저 미시도도 말아서 그 그것은 뭐요 때문에 돌게 요때 계제팅을 가져서 먼저라 상세는 이제 치도거려 미만 망고지 갈 상고시나 오케이 신예디 캬즈미제 항해팅이 캬즈미제 what should we care 대대지대다 차들도 벤션 environmental issue 도 차서 climate change 도 차서 나서 고급 향수문에 실에 고급 항상 야부치래 고급 디스트리뷰터네 나서 리뷰 비셔터는 예마다 맞아와 예마도 차서 environmental desk 도신 항상 처분 나오는 공부래 벤션은 나중에 예마 배우고 주신 얘기 소배기 된대 나오라 environmental issue 통에 로가 된대 요 말에 또 단다 써야 돼요 그래서 내가 차도도 차서 environmental issue 지가 요도 교도니 교대 지구 매인바 이제 내던시 이백이 캐라 주고 요서 제상 교육교의 경제에 캐라교가 있어 맞을교가 많이 내시도 디기 달렌치 단계 요서 아니 맞으면에 인지 후유기 인수의 라고의 항상 계시는데 제슈는시 예사발라 니 문지가 다들 중에 많이 먹어 리그도 초바 하람 차상되게 이걸 무슨 랑신 거지 레슨기도 봐 진짜 딘나시 맞으면 디테일 뉴십 야채로 딴 거에 대해 항상 계시는데 아디나시 뉴십 나게 나눠내야 내도 디테일로 편 나눠를 제고 챙기 비주 왜 계속 통도 가시는 맞아 나눠라 야채 주치도 나눠라 첩시 랑기 토네 토남 차례 만나면지 뉴십 랑기 차례 나게 되려 코란스로 인한 고급 디스트리뷰터네 변화를 제와 제 탑시 치제 변화로게 고유기 내단 토랑 나서 니수 가정도 뉴십기 나서 소스들이 가정도 디아다고 창세 계속 통도 아니 삼바 하는 데네 나서 진짜 교수 이번에 딘낭 심벌에 예근에 도나디 추수와 이것이 정말 무시우시는 것도
many Tibetan youngsters they start to lose touch with Tibet, right? With the Tibetan culture, with the political situation inside Tibet, with Tibetans inside Tibet. So my question to you is, what can we do in order to strengthen the feeling of responsibilities of the Tibetan youngsters here in exile in the West, that they can actually step up and take leadership for the Tibetan movement inside the Tibetan society?
I think, for this issue, NGOs can take many lead. And I believe that it should begin from the families. It should begin from each household where they start, telling your kids, perhaps if not about Tibetans inside Tibet, maybe try and teach them about essence of Tibetanness. What is Tibetanness? What is our culture? And how can we celebrate that? I really think it's important because we should not, something that I shared with you about my late Pala, how we try to, instead of trying to make it too depressing for kids, how do we try and bring an issue in front of kids, but bring it in a celebratory manner. Let's say how we can sing with Tibetan, the Tibetan kids in Tibetan, Tibetan songs. Try and learn Tibetan. Say, make them fall in love with Tibetan dress. Make them proud of the fact that you are a Tibetan. I think this is the root of where one can decide whether one will be active in the Tibetan freedom movement or not. Because once you absorb that pride in being a Tibetan, naturally I feel like they'll feel, okay, what is that? I'm a proud Tibetan. Okay, what about Tibetans inside Tibet? They are proud Tibetans too. What is happening to them? What are they going through? What are they doing? How can I become part of that movement? How can we do it together? So I think these things will automatically lead, link a Tibetan kid into becoming a Tibetan activist. And it's important that we begin that as kids. And I believe that around the world, this initiative is taken by all the Tibetan associations, where they are bringing Tibetan kids together, making them learn Tibetan language, making them, learn Tibetan songs, try and learn what Tibetanness is about, So I think this is something that we should work on. I think once you reach that stage, that curiosity in us, you will want to know more about Tibet. You will want to know more about what is the human rights issues that is to deal with Tibet. I think naturally we will come closer to Tibetan activism, and yeah.
얘 보여는 구주송 그 남조셔가니 아마 samutangda 직 란제를 봐. 근데 지단 단 두지 지금 진짜 고난서 우멜람이 파 인스레스 예 고치디 때문에 가리나 세컨이 쉬었어.
구주송 별 구주송 얘기 서봐 지단에 서버디 미망 캠프시 준수기 속 차고서 이 서버디 토마츠고의 금전디 제주나 폐회 준수 된주기 변화로 슈니 준수 저거 코란주기 우선 파키스탄도 아디나시 변화로 슈니기 저거 저 준수 차지 제주나 폐도 코란소라 로바 같이 도도 서버디 수고의 미 토메미 다한 차되고 안 서버디 당보 주셔도 나한테기 소배랑조 랑제 차고 이빠라도 하지라 아니 교육 주신 얘기서 오늘 교부래 내내 랑제 줘버려 또 다들 교육 주신 얘기서 나한테 랑조 의미랑 차되고 싶어 이번에 예년에 계시무시 가르치고 쉬우나 나랑서 교육 주신 얘기서 배기 소위 야는데 나랑서라 차긴 갈까고 쉬우나 강사디 준수 제일 대자를 되게 갖고 내가 저기 criteria 캐치시 나가나래 세상 대대도 예외는 뭐지 나가나 쉬고 나도 토마츠고는 시 배우고 싶은 유튜브에기 미유디 제주나 병에 준수소를 차로 쉬에다 변화로 쉬에기 저번에 준수 프랑스에기 꾸서 천토에기디 디샤 토네 나서 배우고 싶은 유튜브에기 ngani shi de bi shi bare thane bi shi bare muthi ni daga ni re samgi do ra adina shi ni don chosum lo pyo ku sum le yu so ba me na mu yu bare yima ne zo ni khar thong shu wi na choba chi gi lam jo khar gyu ba ni re ngar zo zo mi sa di pyo na lo gi pyo mi so mi ba ina ni sa ba uma rang ze shu ke shi wa ji be tong bin do 다른 것은 과시파에 별 90분 얘기 쳐봐. 의외는 쳐봐래. 이번에 영화지가 타기를 넘게 줘가는 제 가오킹에 뭐 영화지래. 이번에 나 쳐서 손이 나랑 껴버려. 이 껴리 프랑스면은 가리 통보시나 나 오늘 안돼 통 말이야. 나 그래도 최소치 포모지. 가시고 초가 뒤다. 하고도 나 저기 탑수 때는 실제 수익이 누가 또 선생님 교실에 차고. 지난디 항상이 고량보다 상식도교육이 타쇼시에 상급도 지난 내내신 나라서 진주 지소 나로라 타쇼들이 시치고 때 계시무제 강사지 연구 주시는 로제 장세제 우발시제 간절히 차이나 와
왜 쉬죠지 오늘은 교제도나 가면은 따라서 뒤에 굉장히 뭐 음악이 있습니다. 이게 딱딱되게 묻었습니다. 오만 남들은 제 경기에 오면 남들 더 초그래. 나라 이제 이따와 되게 시키게 이제 오마인바 민존대다란 경주가 인바스 가면나비나 딱딱되게 있습니다. 지금 오마인바는 제 무엇가 딱딱제 되고도 단다 우주성 오면 남태비네 때와 담미기에 가린 수고하는 이 수고를 개미 월 되게 수고하러 와. 이 내가 진짜 저렇게 이 때가서나 내디 관리도 하고 싶어요. 넌 이슈 성주들 때랑 제 스케일 내가 다 오늘 군대 선물에 나 오면은 그냥 직전에 아우스트라리아에 더해 이거 진짜 다원 스케일 파주 이치에다 파주 그렇게 해서 내버렸죠. 인자 의외시에 되지만 가면은 수인의 신규제대로 우마인바 우멜남 수에도 파샤와 랑젠전에 다들 따wer게 치치와 랑젠전에 지금바 딱 가서래 가면 내가 갈 수 있다 이집 중에다 하게 뭐 좀 얘기를 와 랑젠전에 지금바 인존된다는 경주를 봤어 딱히 우멜남 그때 가라리 가면 난 거예요 말이야 인자 이때스 여와치에 나오고 도서도 간선행 같은 얘네 중국의 집이 있는 수인의 우마인바랑 좀 뒤고 땅같이 되는 것은 그 뒤시 위슈에 주대주가 되잖아요.
So Tibetan youngsters sometimes feel that their work is not getting acknowledged or that they are not being taken seriously by the older generation just because their Tibetan knowledge is, according to them, not good enough. And so how do we, build this bridge between the older and the younger Tibetan generation so that we are feeling like kind of the same same thinking or
I hope it never reached that point.
Okay.
Well, I'm saying that because it's not a problem that is exclusive for Tibetan community. It's something that is everywhere across the world. There are different ideas which the older generation are not able to accept. There are ideas that we strongly believe in as younger generation, and there are that we believe in, they don't accept, and I guess it's important that we should work on it together, it really is, I think, critical that we as educated people, that's what we call ourselves, we take initiative into, how do we say, giving a proper credit to the older generation. I think it's very important because many times I feel like, of course, there's this hierarchy, there's this power struggle and everything, that's another thing. But then we also have to give proper credit to the older generation. The fact that we're able to celebrate, that we are able to, celebrate this freedom is because that the older generation worked hard for us. So we give them a proper credit, let them know that we have the freedom that we have the opportunity that we have, chances that we have because of you. However, this is something that we believe in. Let's try and come to a compromise. I think it's important that we bring that topic on table, and let them know that we are doing what we can to accept your ideas. I would appreciate if you could do that to us as well, and I think it really will take an effort from your side, from our side as younger generation, to let them know that, let's work together, because the older generation, they have got so many things that we can learn from them, and when it comes to celebrating Tibetanness, when it comes to understanding Tibetan history, even if it's oral history, there's so much to learn from them, whether we talk about our history of loss, pain, scars, it's something that we can pick from them. Whether our older generation have degrees education-wise or not, academic, they have something that we don't experience, so let's bring our, positivity together and try and make it positive altogether, So I truly believe that, we will have to work from our side, even if we are younger, try and be the bigger person. We can do that, we can try. It's definitely not easy because out of my experience, I really have had to work a lot when it comes to issues that I truly believe in, discussing that issue with Amla, discussing that issue with my Momla, trying to convince that, this is something that, Serona, which is Serona, Kechumre, Niesu de Kechumi, Kigapchedo, Niesam Di. So it really depends. I think it's your persistence matter. Let them know that this is something that you truly believe in, and let's work together on that. And it's definitely not easy. It's certainly not easy, and it's more difficult when it comes to politics. It's a completely different scenario when it comes to politics because I'm in a different situation right now when it comes to, say, as a member of parliament, I'm dealing with more people, and it's definitely not easy. But at least we can try work on that.
From my personal experience, I hardly discuss any political issues at home. It's been right there. Okay. So, what do you think is the role of Tibetan youth in the Tibetan freedom movement? And do you think especially the youth in the West has a special role? Yeah.
I think every Tibetan around the free world, we have a very special privilege that we should be using for the betterment of our Tibetan freedom movement. Because all of us in free countries, we are just about 3 to 4% of our entire population. And our core duty as Tibetans, as privileged Tibetans in the free countries, are to become the representatives of Tibetans inside Tibet. And I think some people say that so many Tibetans are slowly settling across the world. It's not good. It's not like for future. It's not something that is going to benefit the CTA. And I believe that, I believe in something opposite. I believe that it is actually a blessing in disguise. Tibetan freedom movement is able to spread across the world. We are able to send the message of Tibetans inside Tibet across the world. If we look at the Tibetan activism, the kind of lobbies that we are doing at the moment, the kind of attention that we are able to get from the leaders of the free country, wasn't same 15 years back. It wasn't same 20 years back, 10 years back. It's changed. Because politicians are now realizing there are more and more of my voters from the Tibetan community. How do I become accommodable to that individual, to that group, to that community? So I think through that we can really become the voice of Tibetans inside Tibet. So therefore, I believe that the change that is happening at the moment, where Tibetans are spreading across the world, is a blessing in disguise. It's an opportunity for us that we should be seizing. Try and strengthen our role as the representatives of Tibetans inside Tibet. So yeah. and the young Tibetans, I think it's a reality that the opportunities that I've received is very different from opportunities that you are receiving and you have received in free, like in Western world. And many Tibetans in India, in Nepal, in Bhutan, they aren't citizens of the country. So politically speaking, I don't know how influential they could be to impact the decision of those nations into supporting the Tibetan movement in the way that they should. But in Western countries, things are different. Tibetans are settling across the world, becoming citizens of those respective countries. And I think so far, currently the young Tibetans are able to become the voice, of Tibetans inside Tibet through different campaigns like lobby. And I think it's something that we should continue. We definitely should continue, and we should look for more means of trying to reach out, trying to become the voice of the voiceless inside Tibet. Yeah.
group chinju sugin irwa an trans din anglo la chugin chi che so gi samja da chiwo khari yobe na an di yamena ma thiro chi an je la kama chu je ne ma chamanyam do che che ni nami jumla la chiwo da samja khari yobe na ya thiro chi shugi ani di chiwo di je ne sin sumna na di la che sumna chugin chi che tuyo ba yo so ya ni chama nyamdo mari group chukam sena an shugo gona anda nge ke yondo
아주